Good morning, everybody. It is Wanda here with this morning's today's tarot. Welcome all of you from all over Australia and wherever you are hopping on from. Really happy to be able to deliver this morning's tarot. Oh, well, hi Tanya, how are you, darling? Just waiting for a few more of you to hop on. Hi Mary. Susan, welcome. I'm getting used to doing this now. You can tell, can't you? Oh dear. I'll just wait for a few more of you to hop on. Welcome. How has your day been? Let me know where you're hopping on from and what you are. I just thought I was really hoping to get on this morning with a friend of mine who's here visiting me. She's actually heading up to the Sydney Festival. We have a Sydney Festival today at Darling Harbour, one of the beautiful hot spots on the harbour. And there's a convention centre there, and they've got the Mind, Body, Spirit Festival at the convention centre, and she's a reader, and I said to her, come and do a live with me, and she's going, oh no, I can't do that. So I said, oh, come on, it'd be so much fun. So anyway, she's opted out. She's still in her jammies upstairs having a piece of toast while I'm here. Welcome everybody who's hopping on right now. Let me know where you're hopping on from. How are you all? I hope the last 24 hours has been wonderful for you. And while I start shuffling the cards, as you can see in the comments box, and again, I've forgotten to put the YouTube link. Oh my God. Anyway, never mind. It's about picking your battles. Now, that is very important. If you don't sort of become aware of your own emotions and why things trigger you, and then when you get triggered, you want to say something like you're a loose cannon. When you're mindful and when you are aware of what triggers you, then you can just sort of let that moment go. And it's actually, I've heard a lot of people say, pick your battles, because that is a very powerful phrase. Because what does that mean? It can mean several things. It could mean picking your battle can mean not getting in a confrontation with someone in your reality, at your workspace, because if you're remembering what I've been saying, that everybody that you work with, everybody that's in your family that triggers you, they are an aspect of yourself. Does that make sense? Maybe it doesn't. Maybe you don't want to see that, but it is really true. And so when you get triggered, and you feel like you want to say something, you get angry or you're upset or you feel like something's upset you, go within. Take a step away from the space that you're in right now. Like step away, like go for a walk, or if you're still at work, go to another space and sort of go, that was interesting. What was that all about? And rather than getting all heavy and emotional about it, sort of your subconscious really likes to play. It's like a little 2-year-old, naughty little 2-year-old. And if you talk to it that way and you say, wonder what that was all about. I got all really upset and emotional then. I wonder what happened then. When you start asking yourself those conscious questions, the answers show up. And that's very often for us if we learn to live in that way. Right? So when I say pick your battles, sometimes it's good to be, close your mouth. And then if you need to address something, rather than going trigger happy, then go and address that issue with that person in a different space, right? In a completely different space if you're unable to respond at that moment. And here's why we get triggered. This is the big fat reason why we get triggered. The reason why we get triggered is because we have created expectations about how people should be and what they should say and how they should act in our reality. Right? So we have a certain expectation of how that person should behave, but we have that general expectation not just from one person, but on a lot of people, you see. And so when you understand that those expectations get in the way of how you view people, people's responses, you've got no control over that. It's just there to teach you the lesson of what is it about you. So if you're getting the shits all the time, ask yourself, all right, what is it that's giving me the shits? What is it that I'm not owning? What is it that I'm not aware of? Always bring it back to self. Does it mean that you go, oh my God, I'm such a klutz, I can't do anything, I'm a terrible person? No. No, if you know that you're a divine source, if you know that you're living in divinity, if you know that you're part of the divine perfect project right now, and then you've got this stuff coming up, then just look at it like it's stuff. I was just about to say, don't make it a subject, make it an object. Look at it in curiosity. And look at it with a bit of a smile on your face and go, oh, that was very interesting. I wonder what that's all about, rather than getting all about it. Does that make sense? So today, check out and see what triggers you. And when you do get triggered, maybe even write it down. Oh, that was interesting. And you can just examine it a little bit. You don't need to go into a headlong diary full and journal for 6 hours about it. It's not worth it. Okay, so what is today's tarot going to say for us? Hi, everybody who's jumped on, even the newbies who've jumped on. Pam, it's good to see you joining us this morning. Lisa, welcome. Deondra, hi, Dals. Angel, or I start again. Angel, and I know Tanya's here. Savitri. Again, hello, darling, how are you? So I'm trying different times. So apologies if I'm looking a bit like the roller coaster, but I'm trying different times to see if I can maximize on the amount of people who want to hop on, because I get these messages going, hi, Wanda, I missed you today. I'm so sorry. So I'm trying this time. Anyway, I've got to go up and have my breakfast, so I don't want to fiddle around too long. Oh, okay. Today's card is the Justice card. The Justice card is all about balance. Balance in life, work, and play, number one. Number two, whenever this comes up in a tarot card reading, the Justice card is usually about right and wrong, a court case, being served papers, like legal papers, that kind of thing. Getting down to the ends of it. So if you've been in the middle of a legal battle and you're worrying about what the outcome is going to be, the outcome is going to be very fruitful, and it's going, or you could move into that. Excuse me, everybody, I've got a few throaty things going on. So that is what that's all about. First of all, it talks about the balance within yourself, and it talks about the way in which you justify your own life, because justice, justifying, are you being fair to yourself? Are you being fair to others? If you're not being fair to yourself, then you are not being fair to others. What is fair? Explore that, maybe journal about that. So this card usually comes into the physical, and it's around legal papers around a home, divorces, changes. If you're dealing with parents that need to go into a nursing home, that's coming to fruition. The time is getting close where you need to do something about it, and get the legalities happening. So that's what that is all about. On a personal level, it can be about the balance, weighing the scales down, and being powerful about it too. So if you know that you're being taken for a ride, and then you're going, oh, that solicitor's doing this, and my ex-husband or ex-wife's doing that, and they're trying to get me for this is all about you. And it may be that you're not standing in your power. Now, how do I know that? So you see that sword that this chick's sitting there? Right, so the sword holding up is about your power. It's about the work that you need to do on yourself. And then she's holding up the scale on the other hand, which means balance that out. So in other words, when you're picking your battles, do it in an effective way. Now, can you see that she's wearing the color blue? Well, the blue's all about the throat chakra. It's about speaking your truth and speaking with power. It doesn't mean that you overpower, scream, rant, and rave. So in whatever issue comes up today and in the next 12 months, things that you haven't seen yet, then you know that this card is all about you learning to step into your power. That is what it's all about. The justice for you. Does that make sense? And of course, the justice that we have in our physical world with the understanding that we have in our physical world. Okay, so it's like a two-pronged sword in a way, you know, that we're dealing with the outside world as best as we can, and that's about myself, standing up and taking ownership of what you believe is true for you, for your family, for another. And when we go into battle like that, do it with power, do it with balance, and do it with effective communication, and not like as if you're, you know, half cocked, so to speak, you know, that you're going into a battle without being prepared. Okay, so that's that part. Now, who am I going to read for today? A lovely Osho card for somebody. Oops, doing the Osho cards. Let's have a look. Okay, so Susanna Hatch, you are at the top of the list. I haven't seen you before, Susanna, so this is for you, and we all know that if the card's for Susanna, it's for all of us. So aside from having that balance and that justice card come up, here we have this, the outsider. What is that all about? Okay, so the outsider is getting a different perspective on something, Susanna. I hope this is relating to everybody. And we become the prisoner of our own negative thoughts and our own expectations of how we think the world should be. All right? And so sometimes that can hold us back from being really clear and powerful in our own lives, because the only person that you can ever empower is yourself. Whatever you teach is the lesson that you most need to learn. And so therefore, when you have a look at the brick walls and beyond that gate, you can see that beautiful horizon. And sometimes negative situations can make us feel small. They can make us feel powerless. They can make us feel like a child, and that we're stuck, and that we're trying to get out of the gate and we can't. So as the outsider, sometimes it's good when you are in battle or when you are dealing with a situation that's not very pleasant and uncomfortable, try to look at it from another angle. Okay, when you're looking at it from another angle, so what angle is that? Because we're only ever looking from our angle, our expectations, and our own movie set on how we think things should be. And so to step away from our own movie criteria and look at it from another perspective, like, you know, when you see the eagle flying, the eagle will always show you to look at things from a different angle, and that when you look at it from a different angle, you can solve the problem in a much better way. All right, so if we go always with what we think and we're not getting results, then maybe it might be, well, okay, what is another way of looking at this problem? What's another way of thinking about it so I can get my head around what that person is trying to do, and maybe it will then change the way in which I respond. Does that make sense? So when you're the outsider in this situation, being the card of rainbows and feeling insecure at that moment, okay, this is how I'm feeling right now. How else can I solve this problem? What can I do for myself right now? What's it making me be aware of? And you don't need to go down a dark tunnel about that. So for today's cards, we've got a very powerful Justice card and a very powerful The Outsider. So if you're feeling the outsider in a relationship, if you're feeling the outsider in anything at all at this moment in time, what that actually means is, where have you positioned yourself? Where have you imprisoned yourself? And that's usually, again, in the mind. I hope that makes sense to you. Comment below and let me know if it does, and if you need a bit more explanation about that. Because if that's sort of going, well, what does Wanda mean by that? Well, am I doing that? you know, if you're asking yourself that question, that's brilliant. If you're going, I don't know what she's talking about, I'm going to zoop off now. Well, that could be what you could do too, but you're missing the whole point. So if you want more clarification on that, PM me. Type it in the box because I'll always read your comments. In the meantime, that is for today. Remembering the justice card could be anything from up to a week to 12 months for this to happen. Okay, so, you know, you 12 months ago, you might be going, oh my God, I remember Wanda reading that and this came up and now we're, you know, being served legal documents. It's just a process, guys. It's another way of living, right? Let it go. Don't chase the impossible. Let it go. Find your peace with it. Move forward. There's always great things to do in the world, more so than what you even realize in your world. Okay, we're here to grow. We are here to grow. We are here to spiritually love each other. We are here to share our love with each other. We are here to just make a little bit of difference, not only to ourselves, but also to others in our daily methods. And it can even be just a smile to somebody. It could be as simple as that. It doesn't have to cost you anything, but it could be just that. I hope this has helped you today, and I'll be on again tomorrow. God bless you all. Have a really great day. And for those of you who are living in the Sydney area, don't forget the Mind, Body, Spirit Festival. I'll be moving in there to say hello to my spiritual friends. You might even see me. If you do, come and say hello. All right. God bless you all. Have a beautiful day. And until tomorrow. Bye.